Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm showing you guys a super fun and delicious dessert that's sure to impress your guests. It's got a few fun twists into it, such as using crushed up phyllo pastry instead of flour in the batter, and then also boiling whole oranges and using those inside the cake as well. Something that I don't think I've ever seen in another recipe. I love that you can make this dessert ahead of time, and it's actually recommended that you do start it the day before. We'll be pouring a hot syrup over the dessert, and so the dessert needs time to absorb all that yummy goodness that's found in the syrup, and that's best done overnight, and then all those flavors can develop, and then you'll have a finished product the next day. There are a few steps involved in making this cake, but they're all really simple and you'll have no problem following along. Take a package of thawed phyllo pastry. This is the same kind of phyllo that you would use for baklava or other flaky desserts. The sheets are paper thin and delicate. So just start by taking 2 or 3 sheets at a time and crumpling them together or folding them like an accordion and placing them into a 9x13 baking dish. Do this for all the sheets and then place the baking dish in an oven that's been preheating at a low heat. I had mine at 250 degrees Fahrenheit on convection, and you want to bake it for at least an hour or until the pastry has completely dried out and is nice and crumbly. Next, zest 2 oranges and put the zest aside. We'll be using that for a mixture later on, and if you're feeling a little extra like I was today, you can juice your own oranges. I juiced a 1.5 cups worth of orange juice, about 2.5 oranges, but if you don't have freshly squeezed orange juice, of course you can just use store-bought orange juice as well. Next, start making the syrup that will be used to pour on top of the cake at the end. To a saucepan, add 2 cups of water, 3.5 cups of granulated sugar or white sugar, 1.5 cups of orange juice, and a cinnamon stick. Give everything a good stir, bring it to a boil, and then reduce to a simmer. In a large pot, place 2 large oranges and fill it with water. The oranges need to cook for about an hour, so again, bring the water to a boil and reduce to a simmer for an hour or until the oranges are soft and cooked through. In the smaller saucepan next to our big pot where we started the syrup, you'll see that the syrup has started to boil down. It has thickened up a little bit and it's a nice rich golden color, so you can go ahead and take it off the heat and let it cool down. This is what the oranges will look like after boiling for an hour. The water has changed color and the oranges are nice and soft. Remove the oranges from the water and allow them to cool. In the meantime, preheat your oven at 350 degrees Fahrenheit. It has been an hour since I put the phyllo pastry in the oven and it's now nice and crisp. After washing your hands really well, go in and crumble the phyllo into little pieces. If you notice that some of the phyllo hasn't quite dried out, you can simply place the pieces on top of the crumbled phyllo and place it back in the oven for a few minutes until it's completely dried out, and then proceed to crumble those pieces as well. After the oranges have cooled, this is what they will look like. Cut them in half and squeeze out the juice from inside. You don't want to keep the juice because it will be bitter, and so we'll discard the juice, but we do want to keep the pulp and the rind. And we're going to be placing those in a food processor, the whole orange. I know it's a completely different concept. I have never seen it really in any other recipes other than this one, but it makes for a great product at the end. Add the orange zest that we had set aside, 3 large eggs, 1.25 cups of granulated sugar or white sugar, 1 cup of whole milk, 1.25 cups of avocado oil or vegetable oil, a teaspoon of baking powder, a teaspoon of baking soda, and a tablespoon of vanilla extract. Process the whole mixture until everything has been broken down into tiny little pieces. In a large bowl, place the orange mixture and about 1/3 of the crumbled phyllo pastry. Give it a good stir until all the phyllo has been incorporated, and then add another 1/3 of the phyllo into the mixture again. Mix it, make sure everything's nice and incorporated, and do this a 3rd time. And then mix well until all the ingredients are nice and incorporated. Generously butter that same 9x13 baking dish and pour in your batter, and just make sure everything is nice and level before placing it into your preheated oven. Bake on the middle rack for about 40 to 45 minutes until the cake starts to turn a nice golden color and is set in the middle. As soon as you take the cake out, pour the cooled syrup on top of the cake. For any syrupy desserts like in the Greek culture or any Middle Eastern recipes, the general rule is that if your cake or your dessert is hot, you want to pour cold syrup on the top of it. And if a dessert is cold, you want to put hot syrup over it. So you'll notice that the syrup just kind of sits on top of the cake, but we will cover it with the saran wrap and leave it to rest overnight. And then overnight, the cake will absorb the delicious sweet syrup and you'll have something that looks like this in the morning. The PORTOKALOPITA, or your orange cake, is now ready to be served and enjoyed. A little pro tip is to serve it with vanilla ice cream. The combination is just incredible and the flavors just really enhance each other. I really hope you give this unique dessert a try and let me know your thoughts. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, leave a comment down below, and subscribe for more delicious recipes the whole family will love. I also post homemaking inspiration and cleaning motivation videos. I'll see you guys next time.